Hello, my name's the Dirty Tooth, and I'm a variety content creator on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of the things. I'm a content creator everywhere, baby. Just kidding. Mostly on Twitch and YouTube, and today I'm here to present you Creators Create episode 4, where we're going to be talking about video editing and video creation. We've invited a great friend of mine and editor-in-chief of Mustache Ride podcast here to talk about his process in video editing and video creation. So I hope you enjoy it, and we're going to get right into the interview. Bloop. All right, everybody, I have my friend and editor-in-chief at Mustache Ride, Rep Zombie. Rep Zombie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you, Tooth?
I'm doing pretty good. I wanted to bring Rep Zombie on here to talk about editing. Editing's one of those things that I've gotten a lot of questions about, and I'm not a professional. So I needed to bring a professional on here to talk about it. Literal editor-in-chief at Mustache Ride podcast. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate you taking me on and showing everybody how I do things.
Yeah, and which is good because your newest video just got 3K views.
Yeah.
And you just hit over 800 subscribers on YouTube.
I'm at 821 as of right now.
It's pretty crazy. You have a YouTube sub count like screen permanently.
It's literally right there. Yeah. Every time I'm on my computer, it's always there. I'm always refreshing just to make sure.
Refresh, tick, 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 tick until you're famous. I see. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. I wanted to bring you on and just ask a few questions about editing, and maybe it'll help people that want to get started at doing it.
Yeah.
We'll start out with the important question, the most important question in editing, I think. Do you enjoy editing?
You see, well, the relationship that me and the act of editing have, it's like a love-hate relationship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So usually the way I do things, I like to, I'm somewhat of a perfectionist, kind of like OCD kind of thing. If it's not exactly how I want it to, it's not going to go out. I'm not letting anybody see that. So I think that kind of sort of ruins it in a way.
Yeah.
But although, the passion, dedication that I like to bring towards my work is kind of like I always get over that hurdle. You know, I always end up doing that thing that I, need to do. And then it ends up working perfectly, exactly how I wanted to. So, that's kind of the editing sort of biting at me. But I do enjoy it when I get a finished product that I love exactly how it turned out. That's the part that I really love about editing. It's sometimes I'm like, okay, I have a vision in my head. Let's see if I can put this into exactly how I dreamed it out. Sometimes it doesn't work and I have to fix it up a little bit. Then I eventually get it to where I want to be. And that's the part that I love about it. But the bad part of it is that I need to get there in the first place. So, yeah.
I think that's a problem that a lot of people have. I have that perfectionist tendency a lot too, and it keeps me from even starting a project. I'm like, this project's gonna suck. Let's not even start it.
Exactly.
It's good that you get over that hurdle because you made some banger videos, like the TikToks, the shorts you make for Mustache Ride, your YouTube long form stuff has really hit. Some of the past stuff, your Quantum TV stuff, insane views, right? 47K.
You can't say that name on YouTube or else you'll summon him.
Oh yeah, I'll have to bleep that out. We'll bleep that one out. Sorry, YouTube. Perfect. All right. So next question, now that we've, confirmed that you actually like doing the job that we're interviewing about, the next question is, how do you start a project? What's the thing you do? You're getting ready to have a video, you have the idea in your head or a loose idea. What's that next step for you?
Yeah, that so much isn't as much of an editing thing. I would say, editing is sort of it's the last stage in what you want to do right before publishing and, minute details and all that stuff. Before editing, really, it's just brainstorming. You gotta have a brain that can just clicky clack at keys for hours at a time without, getting bored or your eyes getting tired of watching your screen. Um, Usually I'm like, hey, what's a popular topic? Or maybe I'm in the shower, I'm going to sleep, and I'm just thinking, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I made this video? Then I would jot it down in notes, or I would, keep a mental note of it, something like that. And then when I think of a title, like a base title, and just a base idea, I'll just type. And
Okay.
sometimes my brain just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes, and I just keep typing and typing and typing, and all of a sudden it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I've gotten like 3 pages down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So, that's really where the magic happens. If you can't write if you can't brainstorm your video, and it's kind of your video just kind of gets all over the place, and sometimes you don't have a coherent argument, and it kind of comes off kind of weird, almost sort of amateurish, and I would say, not that I'm not an amateur myself, but um it's like you won't have a good video unless you get your points across and you let the viewer know exactly what you're talking about, and that magic really happens in the brainstorming. Then the editing is just, putting your ideas into fruition, into physical form. That's basically how I look at it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people skip that like sort of key step of understanding why am I making this video in the first place? And so then yeah, I agree, it sort of just like falls apart and crumbles, and I think that's why a lot of people don't enjoy editing, because they don't understand the video they're making in the first place. I saw this tip in a YouTube video talking about a T sheet, and it's like this T diagram, and so you draw a line with another line, and it's like title up here, then it's like video, like for 3 topics of the video, and then a thumbnail sketch, and it's sort of like an idea of like how to build that initial start to a video.
Yeah.
Do you have like a process in your brainstorming that's like that thing hits, like that idea hits, like do you go straight to script, or do you start thinking about other things like first, or do you do that while you're writing the script? Is it sort of a fluid process, like all happening at the same time for you?
Kind of, yeah. I don't really do so much brainstorming out on paper or anything like that. The brainstorming that I do is just in the head. Sometimes I'll take notes on my Word documents because I type out my script on Word documents. And then I'll have notes for each topic that I'm talking about, or just key notes overall in bullet points and, tiny points under the bullet points. I don't even know what you call those. I graduated English class. I don't even know what those are called. And I'll just go down until I think, hey, this is enough to make a script on, and then that's the point where I'll just write away. But brainstorming, I mean, the last video I made, I did do little notes here and there, just make sure I was covering what I wanted to cover, and then that was the end of the note taking, honestly. But there was a video that I was going to make recently. It might have been a TikTok. I'm not sure. It might have been vertical format as far as I remember. I was going through. I typed 3 paragraphs out. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this video. I don't know if this is a good idea, and I just backspace.
Dang.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you have if you have a feeling, like an instinct that it won't work, it probably isn't gonna work. At the same time, if you don't have as much passion that way, then it's probably not going to come out the way you'd originally want it to. So
Yeah, it's probably a good rule of thumb, like if you don't even want to watch the video, like probably nobody else is gonna watch that video. Nice. Exactly. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't write a script or don't have that idea, so I think that's good. That's a good way to start a project. I feel like I always just like write a huge script, and then I'm like, I need to record that video, and then I just have them. I have like 4 scripts that I need to record videos for, and maybe one day I'll do that.
Yeah, it's that time management. It's just the next step. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll cover that one in the next interview.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got your script, you've got your title, you got your thumbnail, you got everything, you got your recording, you got it. What software do you go to, at least right now?
Yeah, right now I am using DaVinci Resolve, the free version. because I'm not gonna pay, what is it, like 200, $400 for an editing software. Um, DaVinci Resolve, it's a really good software if you want to get into editing for the first time. If anyone out there watching the video is kind of like, wondering, what kind of thing, like how do I start, just mess around with DaVinci Resolve. The first video I've ever uploaded to YouTube was on DaVinci Resolve. My friend Siegel, he said, "Hey, I use this little thing, to make little tiny projects, So I checked it out. I did a stream montage cut down into something short and sweet, a 10, 15-minute video. Looking back at it now, super cringe. It is so cringe. I look at that now. I mean, I deleted it off my channel because I'm not gonna have that taint my feed, my channel page for forever. But it's a good start to at least get yourself used to doing that kind of stuff, and then that just kind of allows for, oh, I didn't know I could do this now. Oh, there's plugins that I can use that'll make everything seem smoother, all that stuff. But DaVinci Resolve, super good to get into if you want to start editing. If you don't want to fully commit to Photoshop, or I mean Premiere Pro, or any other thing that you would have to pay for originally, DaVinci Resolve is really good. But the only thing is, I'm actually moving away from DaVinci Resolve pretty soon.
Okay.
I mean, this video that I just made was hopefully going to be the last YouTube video I make on DaVinci Resolve, because with the longer and more complicated your video gets and more complicated your editing gets, when you're really like going above and beyond, it gets really like janky and buggy. I've had to restart my computer multiple times because it pauses on a specific frame in this one clip. But going past that, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? I still get the video out in the end. It's still really good. It's a really good software. Don't be too afraid of that. It's probably only a me thing because I don't really see it that often. But DaVinci Resolve, really good. But I'm moving to Premiere Pro just because I don't want to have to restart my computer 3 times a day when I'm editing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
that's just that.
You're moving over to the Adobe gang.
Yes, Adobe gang.
How does it feel? And what are you most excited about with that switch, you think?
Yeah, no glitches.
Glitches.
I'm not saying Premiere Pro doesn't have glitches. I'm sure it does, but not in the way that it disrupts my flow, my creative flow of trying to get a section of my video out or a chunk of my video done through. I'm just excited on having a smoother, sort of maybe more comprehensive idea of, or a more smoother experience on Premiere Pro. That's really the main thing that I'm moving to Premiere Pro for, is for the smoother editing experience.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I use Premiere Pro and I've used Adobe products for a long time. Like, I've been using Adobe since like Creative Suite 2. And so it's been a little while, and I've gotten so used to it that it is so hard to move to anything else. Like, if I'm trying to like workshop something with somebody that doesn't have Photoshop or doesn't have Illustrator or doesn't have Premiere Pro, I'm just like, what is this? What's the UI? Like, I don't understand. And it's not that it's bad. It's just once you get so used to something, it's like hard to make that switch. I would say Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve are two of those things that like are the most debated topic, like in editing software. For some reason, it's just like you have these two camps of people that are like, if you use Premiere Pro, you're the devil. And then, the other side of it is like, I can't believe you still use DaVinci Resolve. And it's, I don't know, like, I guess whatever gets the job done is the best part. And then the people using CapCut are over here like,
CapCut.
I'm editing on my phone, brother.
Hey, dude, editing on the go,
Yeah, true. I've heard a lot of good things.
Yeah.
All
right. It's
something. It's something. Yeah. It's if that's your only option, I guess. I guess if you're only shooting in vertical format, not a bad thing to try CapCut. Not sponsored.
Yeah. I mean, go for it. Every single YouTube video I've made has been on, DaVinci Resolve. So obviously you can make bangers on DaVinci Resolve.
It's true.
Not to burst my own bubble, but I mean, toot my own horn, but I had a 40,000, 46,000 view video. It did really well. Gave me several hundreds of subscribers. This video did really well. I made it on DaVinci Resolve. The editing isn't really that crazy. I made that a year ago, a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Anything could work. DaVinci Resolve could work, CapCut could work. CapCut works too. You know, Premiere Pro, it's what most people use, but you don't need Premiere Pro. You don't need something you had to pay for in order to make bangers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, nobody in the comments roasted you for using DaVinci Resolve, I'm sure.
Yeah, because they didn't even know I used DaVinci Resolve.
Because you can't tell. All right,
Mhm.
so software
That's how good it
aside,
is.
that's how good it is. Software bugs aside, when you start a project, how long does it typically take you to do it? And I know that this varies, right? There's shorts, there's TikToks, there's long form, and I guess your TikToks are kind of long form too, or at least that's something that I've noticed. Your TikToks
For TikTok, it's
are
long.
sort of long.
Yeah.
But if you want to go through like those like three, like what's a typical project of those three like sort of take you?
Okay, starting off on YouTube Shorts, just because that's kind of like the most easy to go through and to cover real quick. YouTube Shorts in specific, really easy to make for me, because I have the luxury of having sort of a passion to do YouTube Shorts as a means to help out Mustache Ride and all that stuff. The having the ability to take a 1 hour podcast and like, oh, this is a really good bit, this is a really good bit, this is a really good bit, and I could, there's only a max of a minute per YouTube short.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a break for me from having to do a 50-minute video to only doing like 50 seconds. You know what I mean? And that's pretty cool, and it's something I have a lot of passion for. It's really easy for me, just because of how I'm doing it and the situation that I'm doing it with.
Yeah, I just got a message today from someone talking about how the YouTube shorts for Mustache Ride have them rolling all the time, like they're laughing. And I think
cool.
I think it's got a lot to do with the editing. Like it's, it makes it even funnier when you can like pack that little punch into that minute-long video.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool doing a cut to this guy's face, 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 and then having these zooms, which is only 2 zooms of video, and then the subtitles is really the part that really kicks it in on the short form content and keeps players awake. Like, hey, you still watching, you 13-year-old iPad kid? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing against, if you're a 13-year-old iPad kid, go, I don't know, subscribe or something.
Yeah, subscribe, go wild, like all the videos, comment.
Just have 3 Mustache Ride podcasts open at the same time while you're eating breakfast. No, but the subtitles is really the hardest part of doing the Mustache Ride shorts.
Yeah.
And it's not even that bad. It's only for like a minute. That process probably takes 10, 15 minutes, maybe tops to do.
Yeah.
And then you get that out, and then boom, you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's out. That's what's really cool about shorts. YouTube videos, however, are actually, I'll go into TikToks because that's more,
still
it's
vertical
closer
format,
to, yeah, and it's shorter. I think the max for a YouTube video is 10, or a TikTok video is 10 minutes. I would know that because I've gone over the 10-minute threshold at least 2 or 3 times. I'm someone who naturally gravitates to doing long form content, and it's not like, hey, I want to make this really long. It just happens to be that way.
Yeah.
Again, it's just the typing.
The content just lends itself to like being longer videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that goes into scripting again, because I'll just type and type and type and type and type, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm still typing. But on TikTok, I do strictly Halo related videos. The very first TikTok that I tried, I'm like, hey, might as well just try to put something out there. Is it's a start of a series, my first series on TikTok. It's called Easter eggs in Halo, and I did top 7 Easter eggs in Halo Combat Evolved, which is the first Halo game that came out. And that video got like, I think right now it has 200,000 views. So when it released, it got like all this attention. I'm like, wait, whoa, this should not be working.
Yeah.
This is my first, TikTok video. All I did was just record me finding one, record me finding another, record, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hey, you never know something's gonna do well unless you put it out.
True. Yeah.
If it's something that's kind of cringe, screw it, put it out. People don't like it. You can always delete it if you want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could always take it off.
Yeah. After you get hate comments, of course. But no, I'm kidding. But yeah, going into YouTube, however, that's like the super long form content. I don't think I've made a single YouTube video that's under 10 minutes. I just my brain just won't let me do anything less than 10 minutes, I guess. But YouTube is a special one. I like doing YouTube because I don't have to put subtitles in like I do with TikTok and YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like the most tedious part of doing editing. If you want to do that short form, like iPad kid, hey, wake up kind of thing. But YouTube videos in general, it's just having to worry about B-roll mostly. Yeah. B-roll, having, recording and following your script that you made prior. And you put those together, you don't have to make it all fancy. You don't have to make it all crazy. It just has to be cohesive. That's it. That's really the only thing. TikTok, you don't really have to be cohesive as much because you can just, little flashy, transitions, all that stuff, and people will just watch. Not all the time, that kind of content, where it is flashy rewards you, even more, but you don't need to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, YouTube stuff, it's a lot. It's I would say it's less tedious, but it's you still have to put just as much effort in my opinion. But if it's going to be long, it's like a commitment. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like this video that I did on YouTube, that I just put out is like 48. It's 48 minutes and 48 seconds long. So practically 50 minutes. Guess how much how much time I took making this video, Tooth?
48 minutes, 48 seconds. I'm going to say you're
right from inception, from the moment I started writing the script.
From the moment you started writing the script, including your recording time.
Everything. I mean, I write the script first.
Yeah. I would say like, I don't know, like 4 to 5 days.
Wait.
Like 8 hours a day. So like 8 times 5 is math. I don't know.
I'm honored that you think I have the time to do 8 hours a day. But
well, I just like think in that category, you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking like 72 plus 72 hours, like over 72 hours to do that.
No, it was 8 months. Not all together.
Oh
like it's not 8 months straight, but I started writing this script. No, not 8 months. Wait. Was it 8 months? September of last year. That's 6, right? 6 months. Not 8 months, but 6 months.
That's a long time.
I've had this idea planted in my brain for 6 months, and I finally got to put it out this past Saturday. The editing took up the most time. Writing the script probably took a month.
How many pages? How many pages was it?
Oh man, I gotta show you a picture. I gotta show you, or I can show you a picture on Discord, right?
Yeah, send it. I'll bring it up.
1 second. Upload file. Pictures. It is 11,000 words long.
Oh my god.
30 pages long.
Holy crap. All right.
That is the script for my video.
Okay, you guys got to see this. Like this is this is insane. And I can show this now because nobody could steal the idea. It's already released. It's already good, right?
It don't matter. You zoom in, it's all pixelated anyways.
This is crazy. So this is your start process, right? Like you talked about,
Mhm.
like you had the idea and you just like sat down, like wrote this over, I'm guessing a couple 3 a.m. nights, like not just one 3 a.m. night, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it
This is
was.
crazy.
Yeah. So what I would do is you see the very top left picture up there.
Yes.
That page and the next page, and I think the next page after that to the right, were all filled with notes
Oh wow.
of, and it would be notes of the first topic, second topic, third topic, fourth topic, fifth topic, and then conclusions and introductions. And then I would just kind of beef it out and just haul through the main topics after that, and that's where the script would come in. But yeah, writing that script, once I finally got it down and perfected it exactly how I wanted it to be, that's when I started recording.
That's crazy. That's
Mhm.
that's a lot. That's a lot of
Mhm.
time. I feel like people don't understand, like people take a lot of time to write these videos out, to do this work, to make sure that the videos perform well. And I think a lot of people get discouraged when they upload a YouTube video and they're like, "Oh man, I only got like 70 likes, or 70 views." But it's like at the end of the day, like, you know, you got to look at that content. Like, did you really understand your story that you were writing? Like, you know, that was 11,000 words worth of story to make sure that this was a cohesive video. And of course, the script doesn't need to be 11,000 words, but it's
Mhm.
got to
Yeah.
be there, right? Like, you got to have this cohesive thought, like from start to finish, because people want that. People want authenticity. People want, you know, your story to make sense. People want, you know, to be engaged during the entire video. That's crazy. That's a long time.
Yeah.
That's way longer than I had anticipated.
Yeah, I know this video is more about editing and less about just video making in general.
Yeah, that's okay.
But the editing process, to be specific, is just the editing process of loading up DaVinci Resolve and then doing everything. The first thing I do when I load up DaVinci Resolve, when I'm making a new project, I guess this would be good for the topic, is I get my recordings that I took. And actually the recordings for this video took 4 or 5 hours to record.
Wow.
Because sometimes I would go and have to do another take and another take, another take. And then, you know, that's just kind of like super tedious, and that would be done within a day.
Yeah.
But after that, it's just, hey, I have my intro segment. I just put the file into DaVinci. Boom, it's on my timeline. And actually, if you look at my footage right here, the screen share that I have on Discord right now, I have, what I would do is I would just, hey, this is the intro. Boom, 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 boom. I guess it's longer than that. Yeah, it goes into
the solid suit. I like the suit idea.
Yeah.
The PhD
Yeah,
zombie.
yeah. So the intro lasts up to 140-ish, 1 minute 40 seconds. I would cut it down to make sure it's good on space and there isn't any empty space, anything like that. I cut it down to exactly how I would want it to sound in my video. And then boom, I have my intro. And I would just go through that. Hey, you know, I go through here, I go through my battlefield, because I talk about battlefield in this video, the 2042. And then I just go, hey, bat 1, bat 1, bat 1, and I have bat 2, bat 2. So I have sections. I have bat 1 is a section, I cut that down. Bat 2 is a section, it starts off this big, I cut that down. I go every single section, boom, 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 boom. I go through until I have all the audio recordings from my voiceover of the script into the video software. And then after that, I have the B-roll that comes in.
Oh, okay.
The B-roll goes in after that. And then I do that for the whole rest of the video. Then I add sound effects, and you can see songs down here, you know, stuff like that. And then I just do little pictures here and there, transitions, stuff like that. But it really comes together after you put the music in my opinion. The music, you have it in the background, and you're not just listening to someone just, you know, talking head for a while. There's a little bit of emotion that I put into the songs. I don't make the music. I'm not, that talented.
You're not insane.
Yeah, but, I like put a really stupid derpy song for parts that are like, oh, this is really stupid and derpy, and
Yeah.
then super serious for parts that are, like serious. Sad music for when I want to be like, oh, it sucks that this happened, whatever. And that's the part of the editing that really puts everything together. That's why it's one of my last steps of the whole thing. Um,
Yeah, I think
but
that makes a lot of sense. Like I didn't think about like going from like voiceover to like the b-roll. Like I tend to like go in this like in the same order, so like I'll record out all of my voice and I'll add in all of my video and I'll try to sync things around. Like I'll move it around because I don't have a clear idea of always like what exact b-roll shot I want, but I'll like listen to what I've said and then I'll move that gameplay around to where it makes sense with like that script that I have. But this makes a lot of sense. Like the idea that you would like cut out all that empty space so you know exactly how much B-roll you need to fill that
yeah,
section. That's really smart.
yeah. Especially for something that's kind of like, I don't want to say highly articulated, kind of like super complex, and how I switch topics just like that. Um, that's the cutting it down before I start putting footage to it. That really helps. Like, hey, this part of when I'm talking is, I put this B-roll on that, or this B-roll on that part, and mix and match kind of different footage to what I'm saying, what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think that's really smart. And I think I agree with you. The music is where videos just like start to come together. Like when you do that first like playback of after you've put the music in, you're like, oh my god, like this bangs, like it's good. And I feel like that's probably another moment where you can tell like does your video actually convey what you're trying to make it convey? Like if you add the sad music and then you realize your words aren't like jiving with what you said, like
Hmm.
it might be time to like change the music out and like try to like accentuate that vibe that you were trying to like
Yeah,
feed through with your words.
yeah, exactly. Can I give you a real quick example, real quick? I have one
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
for this video, um, real quick, I'll only play 25 seconds of it.
Yeah.
Can the viewer listen to the audio that I'm getting from DaVinci Resolve?
Yes, I think so.
Okay,
I'll
that's
play the
perfect.
I'll play the volume here. All right, you should be
Okay.
good.
All right, so I'm gonna start this now. It might, because DaVinci Resolve is kind of like freaky with the visuals, and it is a little bit buggy. Just listen to how the music accentuates what I'm saying, real quick.
Yeah.
Have you ever sat down to play that brand new game that you were so excited for, only to be met with some of the most unpolished, unfinished gameplay you've seen in your life? Are you tired of loading up the latest AAA multiplayer game, only to realize that most of the customization options are locked behind a paywall in either an item shop or a premium battle pass? And have you ever loaded up the sequel to your favorite game franchise for the first time after years of waiting, and realized that all of the awesome features and game modes that you loved from the previous games are nowhere to be found? See, now that right there, you can tell that there's sad music in the
Yeah,
background. So you
yeah.
can tell that I'm sort of like, oh, it sucks that this is happening. Now I'm gonna mute the music for this video, and you tell me how much of a difference that makes. Have you ever sat down to play that brand new game that you were so excited for, only to be met with some of the most unpolished, unfinished You see what I gameplay mean? You've seen in
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
life?
it
Are you tired of
changes it changes everything.
yeah,
Like it's not even the same video. Like I feel
yeah,
like.
yeah, you don't get that vibe of, oh, I'm
Yeah.
supposed to feel sad right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the clap track in like old sitcoms and stuff like that. Like
Hmm.
if like I saw a tweet more like really recent that somebody was like, I want to take all the old Friends episodes and remove the clap track so people don't realize how like not funny that show is. But I'm
Yeah,
like, you
yeah.
can't take that out. Like that's part of the editing process. Like that's part of
Mhm.
the key moment of like trying to like convince your audience that this is the thing that you want them to feel right now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, that if you think about it, if you watch a movie, anybody who's watching, what's the last movie you saw? What's the last TV show you saw? Now, imagine how sad it would, or imagine how stupid it might sound if you didn't have the music in there. What if Halo didn't have its iconic soundtrack? What if anime didn't have the action music in the background? It would seem so derpy. So music is really important when you do any sort of media, whether it's, TV shows, I don't know, these little stupid video projects,
Yeah.
movies, something like that. The music is really what puts it together. It's one of the most important steps is just finding good music. I've had some people that I know say, "Hey, the topic that you're talking about in that quantum TV video or that QTV video is like serious topics." And I'm putting like derpy soundtracks in the background, and I'm like, "Yeah, probably not a good idea to do that." And looking back at it now, yeah, that's obviously what makes sense. And now you kind of have to, hey, what's the emotion that I'm supposed to feel, that I'm supposed to make the viewers feel? Now I got to find the soundtrack that, yeah, puts that into fruition.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it doesn't matter if it's a short or if it's a TikTok or it's a long form video, like all of it matters. Like I've heard like even videos that I've made, like I won't put music behind them and then I'll like put them out and I'm like, "Oh my god, like it's awful. Like it's just bad."
Yeah.
Like even if it doesn't need to convey anything, like not having that background like noise in there of something just like doesn't give it that extra oomph that it needs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Well, I think maybe adding music might be your favorite part, but I don't know. Like, what is your favorite part and your least favorite part about editing?
That was a very good segue. I gotta say that was perfect.
Nice. I'm getting
But
better.
yeah, you are getting better. Podcasts have certainly helped. No, the my favorite part about editing, I would say, is when I finish it. No,
It's the views. Like it's the views. I
yeah,
mean, it's the
it's
subs.
exactly it's the clout. No, um, it's got to be probably one of the later stages because that's when I really understand, hey, this is working exactly how I wanted it to be. Um, but mainly, um, specifically there, it's like when I do the sound effects, when I do the transitions. If it's a video that I've poured a lot of time into, I don't want to rush it, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I'll kind of like carefully, kind of when I'm starting to get sort of bored or it's starting to get a little bit tedious, I'll kind of take a little break for a second. That's in the later stages when I've already poured a few months into an editing project. When it's a 10-minute video about something you're passionate about, yeah, go for it. You know what I mean? Um, you might not encounter that roadblock of having to, like make sure you're keeping your passion and motivation for what you're doing. So picking a favorite part for me, I don't know, maybe I'm just like biased, recency bias over my experience of like, okay, I finally get to put this video out that
Yeah.
I've spent 6 months on. Um, Other than that, probably the music.
Yeah.
Probably. B-roll would probably have to be second. Sound effects and goofy stuff in the background would be three. Number three. Um, that's just saying like I love every part of doing it,
Yeah.
you know. It's kind of like I can't have a favorite sibling or a favorite child. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just kind of what it helps the process more, what feeds the machine more.
Yeah.
Um,
It makes a lot of
but yeah,
sense. And
yeah,
I think that getting the video out is probably like a real experience. Like I'm thinking of people like Summoning Salt who works on a video for like so long. Like the in between the uploads are like so long and so far apart. And it's because that's how long the process takes to get the next video out. And there's a lot of
mhm,
videos like that. Like Sherman Cool showed me this video on like arcade racers. In this video, this guy put out like one video a year for 2 years and he has like 500,000 subs. And it's just because the
yeah,
videos are good. Like they're that good. People want more, but he can't deliver more because it just takes him that long to make those videos. And so I think
yeah,
it's nice when you're passionate about something and when you're like, oh, I finally get this video out and it's good. Like I'm happy with it. I'm satisfied. I'm ready to premiere it. Like that feeling has
yeah,
to be like insane. Like such a good
yeah.
feeling. I know I
I
feel it
will.
and I'm not even making that good of videos. I'm just like putting them out there and
No,
I feel good.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like not so much as how the videos perform. It's just like you're happy that you put something out that you wanted to put out after working on it for so long. It's like finishing an essay or finishing a school test. You're like, hey, thank God the passion that I put into it helped me through the process, and that I'm finally able to deliver at least an essay or a test. You know what I mean? I will say though, you mentioned premieres. That video that I just put out, I had it going as a premiere, and I know you've watched, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that. This is my first time doing a premiere, so I didn't really know exactly what was going on, but I was just kind of like, hey, might as well. I researched that it actually helps engagement on the video
Okay.
because it technically only launches officially when the premiere ends, and then it just becomes a video after
Yeah.
being a live stream. So it kind of like already has a little bit of engagement before it actually releases officially. And then you also have people that, you can watch the premiere yourself after just making the video. You can see people's reaction in the chat as it's going. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, what's somebody gonna say about this cool bit that I do? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that feeling is so cool. The feeling is awesome, and I'm so glad. I'll probably start doing premieres on all the long form videos that I do.
Yeah.
You know.
It's cool. It's sort of like a live stream, but without the pressure of of doing the live stream. Like
Hmm.
I thought it was really cool having the chat there. Like, and I thought it was like it's cool because it like often I would say like the majority of the time, like unless it's somebody that doesn't run their own YouTube channel, is gonna be at that premiere. Like
Hmm.
you'll be able to engage with the creator of said video like most of the time, I would imagine, because they're there, like they're watching it too, like they want to like see that moment and like
Hmm.
have that experience too. And I thought it was great. Like I loved being in there like, whoa, Battlefield 2042 is a freaking mobile game, like why did you bring this back up? Like, and I think
Yeah.
that was so great. I loved that aspect of it because I'd never premiered a video before. Like I'd never like done anything like that, and so I never even really watched a premiere of a video, and so this was my first time watching one, and I thought it was awesome. Like I thought it was a really good experience to
Hmm.
have. Like it's that live experience without the pressure of a live
Yeah.
stream, and you at the end of
Yeah.
it, you have this really great product that's already out on YouTube that currently today, and I'm looking at your YouTube channel right now, is sitting at 3K views, and I would say probably has pretty good retention rate for a 48-minute video.
Yeah. It's actually insane looking at the stats on my phone that I also refresh every second that goes by. Um, my last time I checked, my watch time for that video is like 287 hours.
That's crazy.
I'm like, why do people watch it for that long? Even I'm thinking, who the hell watches that, that much? I guess it has 3,000 views. The average view duration I'm looking at right now is like going around 13 to 15 minutes, which I'd say is pretty good because,
That's really good for
again,
almost an hour
yeah,
long video, I think.
yeah. Um, there is click-through rate, which I think is decent at 5%.
That is a good
Yeah,
click through
click-through
rate.
rates at,
That's like a little above average click through rate.
yeah.
So for not like a video that's like not really hosted anywhere else but YouTube, like
Mhm.
it's not like
Yeah.
you're pushing it out like on somewhere else or like doing a whole lot of advertising for it. Like it's just like living here, like essentially rent free on everybody's YouTube channels, and they're
Jesus,
clicking
that's the
through. All
yeah.
right, so
But I will say real quick, the thing I wanted to get to with the watch hours thing, it is like a 50-minute long video, and you have 3,000 people that watch. It's going to get close to that, but
yeah,
my average watch time on a video is like anywhere from like 30 to 50,
yeah,
and it says like, oh, this is like 240 times more hours. Like we're not talking about
wow,
minutes, it's talking about hours. And I'm just
yeah.
looking at that like, hey, long form content is definitely something you want to look at, especially if you're premiering it, because you get that watch hours from the premiere of people watching it
Yeah.
again before the video even comes out, and then it does really well. That's just like strategy on how to feed the algorithm sort of on YouTube.
I would imagine that the premiere really helped because when I was in there were 6 people watching it. And if those 6 people watch that full hour, then you have, 6 times 6 hours of watch time, like just from the premiere alone.
Hmm.
And so that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's a cool technique to try to do, especially if you're trying to drum up engagement on new videos or like things that you've put a lot of work in and you think is a really great piece of content.
Yeah.
And speaking of really great content, I know you did your first one, or the most recent video, Modern Gaming, a video essay. But if you had to give people another video on your channel that you're like, if after you watch this one, like go watch this one, because I think this one is like another great thing that I've done on here.
Okay, well, I don't want to recommend anyone my QTV videos, because that's kind of just like YouTube drama stuff that I don't want to get into.
Yeah.
But my most recent one before this video was posted July 14th of last year. It's called Judge Denies the FTC and Microsoft Wins. It was like a sort of reaction video to the FTC versus Microsoft lawsuit that happened with all that bull crap, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I poured a decent amount of passion into that video, and it's kind of built the same way that my previous videos built. It's just not as long. It's 12 minutes almost.
Yeah, I think.
But yeah,
I
it's
think
the same style.
Now that people know like the style that you've done, I'm sure they could go through these videos and like start to see that process. Like now that we've sort of revealed it, like I think. My favorite, if I could make a suggestion, is Cursed Halo, but Mario Kart is one of my favorite videos.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
It's sitting at 34 views, but man, did I have fun making that video.
So much fun to watch it, and it was fun to watch like you playing Cursed Halo too. So just I think it's good, and I think that just goes to show like it doesn't matter what the views are, you can still be happy with the product that you put out because it was fun making it or fun recording it or like anything.
Yeah, and like who cares if you get, 30 views or like you said 70 views or something like that. That's better than no views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's better than not putting it out. You could just put it out. Sometimes I put stuff out and it does well. I'm like, why is this doing well? Like sometimes, and people say this often, if you listen to a lot of content creators talk about YouTube strategy and stuff like that, it's some of the videos where you poured the most passion and effort into might flop. But it seems like a lot of the videos that you didn't pour a lot of effort to and you just kind of like rush through, those are the ones that end up doing well sometimes. So it's kind of like a weird like state of limbo that people might be in when they look at their whole channel overall. Like, oh, this video's an hour long, is 100 views. One that's like 5 minutes long and I didn't really care about uploading it has like, I don't know, 3,000 views, something crazy like that. You don't know how your video is going to do unless you put it out. So that's like the biggest lesson in getting into content creation and just editing and YouTube strategy overall, I think.
Do you have any other tips for people that are starting out, like getting into editing, like they have their first piece of content and they're excited now because they've watched this video all the way to the end and they're like, I need these tips?
Yeah, just do it. The Nike Shia LaBeouf meme, just do it. Because who knows what's going to happen if you don't do it. You know what I mean, you know what's going to happen if you don't do it. Nothing will happen.
Nothing
will happen. You don't know what's going to happen until you put the video out. That's got to be the biggest tip. Again, it started with streaming. I started with streaming. I said, hey, I didn't even have a camera yet. I had this busted microphone. I mean, it wasn't busted. It was like, these same headphones I've had this whole entire time had there's a little hole in it, and that's where the mic would come out, and that's what I would stream. All these streamers, they start from nothing. And I was like, hey, I can just put up Streamlabs, OBS, whatever, play some Minecraft in the background, and I just put something out. All of a sudden, a month later, I'm affiliate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you never know. You never know unless you do it. Just if you're thinking about, I don't like the way my voice sounds, I don't like the way I look. Bro, I don't like the way I look either. I don't like the way I sound either. Just do it. And then you'll eventually get used to it and people will like you for you. And that's the best part, is the community that you build around, not only on Twitch or streaming on YouTube or anything like that, but just do it. Just do it. That's all.
Yeah, I think that's solid. Hey, That's all I have for you. I appreciate you coming into this series of Creators Create. This is episode 4 now that I've done, which is kind of crazy. This was like
my favorite number.
4's a perfect number. It's a good number. Yeah. People kept telling me, they were like, that I should try this tutorial style thing. And I was like, nah, I don't know how to do shit. And now I'm like, now that I'm doing it, I'm like, maybe I do know how to do shit. Like maybe it's like, maybe it's not specific. Like I know how to do all these technical things, but like it's about like using your resources, like, editor-in-chief at Mustache Ride Podcast to tell everybody how cool editing is and how they could easily make a video with DaVinci Resolve, and that they should just do it.
Yeah, and I'm glad I got to express how I feel about all that stuff, and you bringing me in to talk about and rant to a camera again after I just had to rant to a camera for an hour. But I appreciate you.
Yeah, I think ranting to a camera is important. But hey, everybody go check out Rep Zombie. It's R3, number 3, PZOMBY on YouTube. That's on TikTok. That's on Twitter. That's on Twitch. I mean, I think you locked down Rep Zombie on all the platforms, right?
Yes, sir. I made sure to grab that identity for myself. No one can take that from me.
No one can take it from him. But I will take the end of this video from him and get the last word in, I think. And even if he says another word, I can edit that out anyway. So that's it.
He won't let me. I mean...
All right. Thanks for coming, Zombie. I appreciate it. Everybody,
Thank
this
you.
has been Creators Create, episode 4. Have a good night. Bye.